Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. I got a story to tell you, and it's kind of not about fishing, but it kind of is. And I've told you that every day I try to run just to stay in shape. But when I run, I'm not like people you see running that have headsets or things in their ears and are listening to music or whatever. I never take my phone with me. I'm always alone out there. I try to stay in areas where I'll be alone. And my quest is to see if I can beat my record of how many woodchucks I see along the way. I know, sounds silly, but that's not the story I want to tell you. A couple days ago, I was running, and now we've got so many Canadian geese around us. I mean, just everywhere, the Canadian geese, and they don't seem to be afraid of anything now. Just contrary to their habits that I grew up watching geese and hunting back then, and so it amazes me. So there'll be groups, let's say, of 20 geese together, and I'm able to go by them. I usually tend to slow down and not run when I'm approaching a number of them, and I slow down and walk by them, and they will let me walk within 5 feet of them, it probably even closer if I wanted to, and not act like anything is bothering them. I'm very careful not to seem a threat, but I don't think they care. So a couple days ago, same thing happened, and there was a group of them, and I'm going by them, and I mean, they're really not moving much. But one of them didn't move at all, and it's staring at me. And I get within the same distance, I'm saying, and I've done this with hundreds of geese lately, get within the same distance, and the thing raises its head, and it starts hissing at me. And I'm like, okay, what does all this mean? First of all, there's no little ones around. They're not guarding a nest. They're not anything other than they're now seem all grown up, and they're all just kind of mingling together and eating or whatever they're doing. But this one goose, I guess it appointed itself the leader and was guarding the whole other 20 geese. And I'd watched a TV show once with Bill Dance fishing along a shore, and he came near a swan, and that swan went after him and flew right up into him and started doing whatever that swan was doing to get him out of there. And it was something that was like a million hits, or millions of people watched it because it was so bizarre. Swan's a lot bigger than a goose, and that's all I could see was that goose deciding to do the same thing to me. It didn't, but I thought it's interesting where it reflects the behavior of all those animals and birds around us. Most of them are pretty similar, but every now and then there's a rogue. There's a vigilante out there that is taking it upon himself or herself to dominate everything around them, including people like me that just want to go running. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.